Decision brings death into the scene, and the person who can make a decision is in the presence of death. We left off with decision before I had to take a break, man. So we can kick right back into it. Watch that last video or don't. It don't really matter to me because we about to talk about it right now. But to give a quick recap, decision releases power. This is coming straight out of the book, Kinds of Power, as we've been doing. We're going to knock this shit out and then we'll move on to the next one. As you can see, man, we getting towards the end of this one. So if anybody got any comments, nigga, holler at me in the comments and we'll move on to the next one. But I'm telling you right now, the next book I'm getting ready to take on is Meeting the Shadow. We got to talk about that shit. We got to. Meeting the Shadow, because I've heard a lot of niggas, a lot of people talk about, shadow work and whatever else. And it's easier said than done. Easier said than understood. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like these simple words like shadow work, it's a lot easier to connect to people, so to speak, than when you start talking about the unconscious mind and subconscious. You start using all these big words that you have to be in the field to truly understand, psychosomatic and shit like that. It's like that's how they trip you up. That's how they know. Well, again, man, you got to be in the field to know this type of shit. And by in the field, I really mean that. Like chemistry, they got certain words that only chemists know. Or when you start talking about certain chemicals, you know what I'm saying, or chemical compounds or makeups. If you was able, you know what I'm saying, like hydrogen dioxide, nigga, that's H2O. Di is 2, you know what I'm saying? So hydrogen trioxide would be 1 hydrogen, 3 oxygens. You see what I mean? It's all in the language, but motherfuckers would know exactly what you was talking about if you started speaking the language. If you was to describe the chemical makeup of trinitrotoluene or some shit, TNT. You see what I mean? The chemist would be able to recognize that. Like an electrician, you start talking about volts and wattages and ohms. You know what I'm saying? Resistance is measured in ohms. You know what I'm saying? And like tachons. There's all kind of shit. But I'm just saying, man, an electrician would know that type of shit just as much as a painter would know the different colors and whatever else. You see what I mean? So whatever field you in, you know that shit. And that's why we watch this fucking channel. We go through a bunch of different shit. So anyways, OZ the Wizard. Like, share, subscribe, but don't do none of that shit. But let's go ahead and bang this shit out, right? Decision. So, decision releases power. As the very essence of agency, decision is power. The very essence of agency. See, what that pretty much means is how it's used. The agency. How power is actually very straight up used by making a decision. Even if you don't say one word and you just chop, you made a decision to cut a nigga's head off, and once it is chopped, was over and done, it's over and done. The decision has been made, which is why, again, as we ended with in that last video, decision is necessary to create. Each of the tiniest actions in the art requires decisions, but it ain't just in the arts. Each of the tiniest actions in life requires a decision, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Some of my unconscious decisions, like I just told myself, don't move shit. Just try to move your mouth and stay still with everything else. You see what I'm saying? That's a decision, because unconsciously, you know what I'm saying, I could be bobbing and weaving and whatever else. You know what I'm talking about? I got this drink in my life. Oh my God, nigga, we almost out. Let's go ahead and finish this shit off, because the alcohol content's got to be low. Nigga, we need some more drink. And we're going to take a break and get that. The cotton mouth's going to call for it. But every decision, again, nigga, I didn't have to drink that shit now, but I did. Every decision, every single move you make requires a decision, whether you know it or not. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's like staying vigilant. But we can already get to this. We can get to this because, oh man, the upcoming chapters are so fucking good. Y'all pay attention, man. I hope y'all really soaking this shit in, man. I love it. So the creativity of decision shows, first of all, the capacity to move forward out of irresolution, and ambivalence. However, at the same moment we let loose action by our decision, we also create enemies. So at the end of the day, bottom line, there are people who are going to agree with you, and there are people who are not going to agree with you. That's just all it is to it. Straight up, nigga. We got all these different. I'm just so quick to take it to astrology, but I mean, it's different strokes for different folks, man. Different cultures, different qualities of people. People have different lifestyle choices. It's just not gonna line up. There's gonna be somebody somewhere, and a lot of times in business, you straight up see it. Other people, even if they really agree with your shit, they gotta come up with a different idea. But some people want to go this direction, some people want to go that direction. Shit's not gonna line up. But when a decision is made, that's it. That's when death comes into the scene, because all other ideas are null and void. It's nil. Doesn't matter. Once a decision has been made, or the person who can make the decision is the only one, it's the only decision that matters. It doesn't matter what I want to do. It only depends on what you want to do. This is why I say a rule book of arguments is so fucking hard, because a lot of people don't realize that they're giving the power over to them. Like, if you want me to understand, you want me to agree, you giving me the power, nigga. You're not gonna stop talking. You just gonna keep giving excuses and excuses and excuses as to why you right or why this and that. When I got the power, until I be like, okay, you right, bruh. These niggas are gonna keep talking. They gonna keep doing you like that. That's why, again, rule book of arguments. You quick to, when you understand what's really going on. Again, with the why behind the what, these niggas just keep talking. It's just excuses, you know what I mean? Which is why, I like astrology. But Pisces, water signs, really, nigga. Any nigga in the water sign is going to keep giving you excuses because they crybaby ass niggas. Pisces, Scorpio, and fucking Cancers, they all fucking crybabies. It just is what it is, man. I mean, it is what it is. All signs got their issues, you know what I'm saying? All air signs are fucking airheads, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of, it's the airheads. It just is what it is, man. They're not grounded in a whole lot. The conversation can be here 1 minute, the next minute it's over there, the next minute it's over here, and the only one that's making sense to is them. Or they're the ones that's like, make it make sense, because they don't understand feelings, so you can't talk about how you feel about shit. Anyways, so I'm just saying, man, decisions get made for a whole lot of other reasons, and we could make it just as simple as, again, like I said, just elements. Astrology is easy for me to make it make sense, but some people are more logical, some people are more emotional, some people are more practical, you see what I'm saying? And some people are more action oriented. I can't find the proper word to just put that in the sum that the fuck up, but more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Dynamic. You know what I mean? And that's more like it, then that would be fire. You see what I'm saying? But some people are more dynamic. And I got this book called Workplace Psychology. I should run and go get it. But the point is, it talks about the different types of learning, which, like some people are hands-on, some people need a manual, some people need to take notes. You have to know the different types of learning. If you're going to be a trainer, or again, the people who are good trainers, they recognize these different ways to get through the different pupils, different people. You know what I'm saying? Teachers, they already know it's different ways to get through to different students. You see what I mean? So anyways, I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, when you make a decision, you have to understand there's somebody somewhere on the opposite end of that, and it might rub them completely wrong. It might just be small notions, like, man, that build up over time, man. Every time I give a suggestions or whatever, you cats never go with my decision. Y'all never take my opinion with anything. So why would I keep giving you my opinion, or why would I keep talking if everything I say is wrong, or we never go with what I'm talking about doing? Then do what you want to do. You tell me. Clearly you keep hiring these cats, so they must be better than me. So what's up? You know what I'm talking about? Or that's like, it's above my pay grade, nigga. I don't get paid to make them decisions. You do. That's where a lot of that shit comes from. And it just subtly, because it creates enemies, whether you're the one in power or you're the one seeking power. You have to understand that. The more that, if you're the one that has to make decisions, somebody might not like that. It's like I said in my last video, nigga, decisions release power, and it might not be your power that it's releasing. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes all they needed you to do, the bait was on the hook. I say that shit all the time. You know what I mean? I throw out bait. Sometimes I'll say a little bit of this, so I'll say a little bit of that, just to see what happens. If I know it's gonna get around, or to see if it does. But I call it bait, and when it does get around, or when somebody finally does say something to me, was, man, I heard it, which, well, that was the bait. How well do you know me, bro? Do you know I would really feel like that? Do you think I would be on this or on that or whatever else? But my point was to prove who the fuck's out here gossiping and this and that. Well, for me to find out, I got to give them a little bit of gossip, something juicy to go spread. Now, I know who I said it to. I don't care who it spread to, but I know who I said it to. So now when I go address that person, see what I mean? That's why it's bait in the first place. Did I get a nigga? I might catch one fish, you know what I'm saying? Then I could use that fish to reel in bigger bait. Nigga, that's what it's about. So, anyways, I mean, I'm just saying, decisions, nigga, that was your decision. Once you decided to take that information and run with it, you decided to insinuate, is how they say, like assume it makes an ass out of you and me type shit. Hey, that's where that comes from. So just know, decisions create enemies, which, you know, I'm just saying, right? And revenge builds in the corridors of power. Since each victory means more unwilling captives of that decision, power built on decisiveness can lead to tyranny. Power built on decisiveness. See, each victory means more unwilling captives of that decision. This happens in the workplace all the time. So, say they started, well, look, this is how we want to start doing this. This is how we want to start seeing things done. We want y'all to start cleaning. We want y'all to start doing this or doing that. Now there is no fucking sanitation department because you operators are going to start cleaning. But they ain't paying no more cheese. But this is the decision that has been made, right? So, power built on decisiveness can lead to tyranny. At a job, this is what happens all the time. Power built on decisiveness. They call it 5S or ISO 9000, you know what I mean? Whatever else. This is the plan. This is what we have in place. This is what's supposed to be. This is what it is. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying in the workplace, which is why this is a business book. But again, in the workplace, nigga, this is where you see a whole lot of that. And it can pour over into the household, into whatever. Again, man, I say this a lot at my job, man. A lot of times, the people that I empower have never actually held power or studied power. They don't know anything about power. The people who I empower, the only power that they've actually had over anyone else in life is their children. So when it comes to dealing with adults, or when it comes to actually being on the job, they just know how to deal with children, not adults. Holding power over a grown adult human beings, you know what I'm saying, grown ass boys and girls, is totally different than juvenile boys and girls. See how we do that? You know what I'm saying? Wordplay. That's why I said before, I don't give a fuck if you're a grown ass man or woman. That really does not matter. Like, if you're a mature adult, that could happen at any age. You know, juvenile, childish, you know what I mean? So anyways, my bad. You know, we've been drinking, we've been smoking. So it is what it is. But the point I'm trying to get at here again, man, just know power built on decisiveness can lead to tyranny. And this is what you usually see at the workplace. And this is a new day and age, man. I find myself coming across this a lot in a lot of different workplaces and people I hear they talk to, not just mine, but other people who work normal 9 to 5s. Again, the old age, the old days is done, nigga. This shit's done. But in these workplaces, you know, they built on shit. They've been around since 1970. Like one of these hospitals that nigga work at, a well-known hospital, fuck it, Norton's. Them shit's been around for a long ass time, you know what I mean? So you gotta understand how the power structures have been in place for so long that now that we have the new generation, the new people out here, they ain't even, it doesn't work. It applies, but it's not as good as it used to. People don't take pride in the normal 9 to 5 like they used to, you know what I'm saying? Being able to get a job and hold down a job. It's a lot different now. And you see the new generation, they getting their millions on the internet. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this YouTube shit for a little while. I'm not all engaged in it, but there's niggas, you know, they got the big edits and they got the this and the that, and they can cut to this and show you a clip of that and do this. They making big money. I mean, you know, clearly YouTube and all these other type of shits is monetized. You know what I'm saying? So you can end up being an influencer and make big money, and you don't have to do a normal 9 to 5. Of course, this becomes your time consumer, But that doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? This is how you getting your bread. You don't have to go punch a clock no goddamn where, you know. I said it before, I'll say it again. I told my daughter, of course, she's graduating in college now, and there's nothing wrong with it. But point being, I told her, like, her junior year of high school, you need to be figuring out what it is you want to do in life. What you're going to go to college for. What type of job you think would be fun to just go to work and do that shit every day. Because, again, if you can just go to take classes for 6 months and get your GED, why do you need 4 years of high school? I'm not saying it's that easy to get your GED, but if you can study for 6 months and get your GED, fuck do you need high school for? And I guarantee you half that shit you learned in them 4 years, you're not gonna do. You're not gonna do. Nigga, I have not applied y equals mx plus b. Not one time have I tried to find the slope of any fucking thing in life. And we knew this in high school. We used to joke and say, but you said, when am I ever gonna need this shit? Never. Of course, it's about logic and structuring your mind and knowing how your mind works. You see what I'm saying? Getting you to do whatever they tell you to do in the form and fashion and way that they tell you to do it. You see what I'm saying? You might have to go to, again, a nigga, when you work at Ford, you might have to do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? You building cars. You go to work at Swift, well, they cutting meat, so you might have to do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more precision, this or that, whatever. You go to work at fucking McDonald's or any type of restaurant, and you see what I'm saying? It's different fields, so you got to be able to use your mind in different ways, which is what I think is the whole point of having different subjects. But you ain't really going to use most of that shit directly anywhere outside of, again, open-ended questions, English, language arts. Them shits is necessary. You know what I mean? It's like, goddamn, working with the Cubans and this and that. Nigga, wish he would have gave a fucking, knew a little bit more Spanish. You know what I mean? It wasn't until, you know, start working around the French cats, it's like, damn, man, nigga, wish he knew a little bit more French. You know what I'm saying? The African dudes that speak French, nigga, wish he knew a little bit more. So language arts and shit. But anyways, I'm just saying, you get the point, bro. Again, like I said, nigga, chemistry, I had fucking physics or whatever. When the fucking last time I had to actually come up with the velocity or some shit? It's bullshit, man. So I'm just saying, back to the point at hand, man. We're gonna get right back to it, bro. So decisions, right? This is what we're gonna get, like I said, just power built on decisiveness can lead to tyranny, and this is what happens in a normal 9 to 5. It can lead to tyranny, so you have to find ways to like break that shit. If you're a leader like me, I'm in a normal 9 to 5. I am a leader, but I have different ways of like breaking the monotony, and it's not so much that I'm telling you to do it, but again, like the kids, so much as you see what the right thing to do is. And even if it's, you know, coming from finding different angles, multiple angles, for some people it's cool as shit. I make it look fun. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what we doing or where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna look like I'm crap at anything. That's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't care any walk of life that I am, you know, currently in, or whatever you want to call it, nigga. I don't like to look like I'm crap at anything. I can learn whatever it is we doing fairly quickly. So I don't give a fuck what job I get if it's just a norm. Anyways, that's just me though. So it's like, take a little pride in your shit, man. Why would you want somebody to think that you slow? You know what I'm saying? My father used to get me with this all the time, man. You can act up, you can be a clown, get referrals, fight. I can get all kind of trouble. But what I better not do is have bad grades. Why I want people to think you stupid? You can do all that shit, but why you want niggas to think you stupid? You know what I'm saying? Get your grades. If you want to be the class clown, that's on you, but don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. A lot of shit, nigga. I mean, I was in advanced classes and whatever else, so, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me getting suspended, they'd be like, damn, man, this nigga's super smart, so maybe he know what he doing. Yeah, but he's just choosing to, yeah. I mean, it's just what it is, nigga. So I would end up with like in-school suspension a whole lot, and I hooped and shit like that, so, you know, being a school athlete helped. But just in general, you know what I'm saying, even after, I've clearly, it's just like that in life, man, you know. Anyways. I'm just saying, man, you ain't got to be dumb. You ain't got to be stupid. But Now that the new niggas are around, man. Oh, my bad. Let's just get right to it, man. I almost trailed again, but I ain't gonna keep breaking off, man. So the demand for unconditional surrender aims to eliminate forever the shadow possibility of revenge that lies latent after a decisive victory. So again, I keep talking about the workplace because this shit really fucking matters as far as the workplace. I've even heard it said this, and it kind of blew my mind. But it's like, hey, I understand from a business perspective, but it was like, nigga, you applied for the job, you applied to work here, so everything we say goes. Like they applied to work here, bro. They don't have to like it; they have to do it though, or they can go find another job. Power built on decisiveness can lead to tyranny. Well, it's fucked up. But that's what tyranny is, nigga. Do what I say do, because I said do it. You applied to work here, now you work here. So if you want the job and or nigga, you on probation. So you gonna have to work through this probation area until you get off of probation, nigga. It's our choice to hire you. If we don't want to hire you, we ain't gotta hire you. So, do it, nigga, or don't. So, but it's power struggles, but you see that shit a lot at the job, and I be like, damn, man. There are other factors besides a paycheck why people stay at the job. So sure, you can hire them, and we get plenty of people through the door, but there's a reason why a certain company has a 77% turnover rate. 77%, nigga. That's a little less than 1 in 4. That's like 1 in 3.85, nigga, actually stay. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck you want to call it. 1 in 4.85 people or some shit. I don't know. But 77%, 75 is 3/4. 1 in 4. It's a little less than 1 in 4. So that's crazy. Yeah, it's like closer to 5. You know what I'm saying? It's like 1 in damn near 5. So that shit's nuts. So anyways, I'm just saying, man, there's a reason. People come through the door, but they don't stay. Why don't they stay? Because power built on decisiveness can lead to tyranny. You have to find other ways. You have to be good at utilizing other ways if you want to be a leader. And I mean, again, this is for if you in power or if you not. You know what I'm saying? I wish a lot of these supervisors actually read these fucking books. You know what I'm saying? I be thinking like, man, if I was a fucking supervisor, if I was a damn plant manager, production manager, or whatever else, nigga, I would pass around books like this, nigga. There would be required reading, you know what I'm saying? Not just classes and shit like that, but required reading. And I guess you would be quizzed on shit, you know what I'm saying? Which would come with certain incentives, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily company based, but because it's something that I would like to do. So it may be something I come out of pocket with. But that's the type of shit that has to be done, man. You have to learn how to lead by more than just one. Some people need that shit. Some people, you know what I'm saying, need to be quote unquote subjugated. They need to be told what to do. They need somebody watching over them to make sure they do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? They need that. Other people don't. So it is what it is, right? But let's keep it moving, all right. So we today prefer consensus decisions rather than victories. We believe in compromises that the other side can be brought around or bought off. The deal has been replaced by victory and defeat, and so decisions are totally hammered out more subtly. Therefore, decisions are more likely to be headed off before a decisive crisis comes to a head. So basically what that means is it's a deal. Motherfuckers are usually ready to compromise more so than just make a decision. Than just call a spade a spade. Look, this is how it's gonna be, because I said this is what it's gonna be, and it ain't gonna be no other type of ways. Instead of doing that, it's like, well, let's come to a decision. Let's come to a compromise. What do you think should happen? Wouldn't you agree that da 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 blah 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 blah? You know what I'm saying? Well, don't you think it would be more whatever the fuck? Man, I can't get comfortable in this motherfucking chair. I done drunk too much, or maybe I need more drink. But you get the point here, right? That's where it goes, man. It's like the deal has been replaced by the compromise. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's come up with this or let's come up with that. They hate that shit. I recently had a supervisor come to me and he's like, well, James, you know how to do this and do that, and you know what you and blah blah blah. Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with a solution. Let's come up with a. I'm like, okay, let's come up with one. He's like, well, what are you waiting on, James? I said, nigga, I'm waiting on you. You don't want to get paid the money, nigga. You don't want to do this shit. I'm waiting on you, nigga. Let's come up with one. You start. See, in my position, what I get paid for is to give you suggestions. I don't come up with the plans, nigga. At least start with something. Give me something to work with, and I'll give you suggestions. But you're the one above me, nigga. What do you think should happen? You've seen what's happening out here, nigga. You've been here for 6 months. You've been on the floor. What's up? I mean, like I said, nigga, at least start off the conversation. But if I start off the conversation, I'm pretty much going to be leading the conversation. It just means you pretty much putting the decisions and shit on me. And nah, that ain't cool. I'm already knowing what's happening here. Nah. We're going to start with your idea. Because if we start with your idea and then we make little this and that improvements or whatever else, you see what I'm saying? Then it was your idea to begin with. So when we made the decision, it wasn't like you made the decision based off of what was going through my mind. No, and therefore you can blame me. No, we made the decision based off of what's going through your head. Period. And like I said, a rule book of arguments. I need to know what's going on in your mind so that I can convert your shit over to what's going through my head. And either or, I can help improve the way that you do this shit that you do. You see what I'm saying? It ain't about you doing the shit I do or the way I do it, because nigga, you not me. How do you do you? And we can improve on how you do you, not on how you can do me better. No, nigga, how you can do you better. That's what this shit's about. Even my fucking channel, it's about how you can do you better. Not just doing me, nigga. I think what I think, I'm on what I'm on, but you gotta be able to do you better. Alright? So. Let's just get right to it. Alright? The decisions are more likely to be headed off before a decisive crisis comes to a head. Meaning that the person in charge tries to avoid bringing down the hammer on one side or the other. See what I'm saying? A compromise, a deal. Nevertheless, these hesitations show an awareness of the pitfalls of all decisiveness. The pitfalls, nigga. You know it can create enemies if you just straight up say, this is what's going to happen. Unless you make it seem like we all came to this conclusion, unless you make it seem like this is going to benefit everybody, when really it's just getting closer and closer to what the fuck you really want to happen. But I'm just saying, point is, this is where we at today. We today, straight out of the book, fair use, we today prefer consensus decisions rather than victories. And that goes back to everybody trying to stand in instead of stand out. You can't be outstanding if you stand in. Nobody wants to stand out, so how can you be outstanding? That's what it is. Everybody wants to be in some type of group, some type of fad, some type of, you know what I'm saying? There's no individuality. And that's the type of shit in today's age that gets you, like, ridiculed. That's the shit, like, this is the new shit me and my cousin was talking about, nigga. Sticks and stones break bones, but words will get you fucked up. That's the new shit. That's exactly what it is. Words will get you fucked up. And you can take that literally, figuratively, all that shit. Words will get you fucked up. Tweet the wrong thing. Words will get you fucked up in the game. Lose your job, all this and all that. Fuck with your character. Words will get you fucked up. I ain't monetizing my shit. I mean, I ain't even that big, but I don't have members and all of that, whatever else. But I bet you if I do, I done said motherfucker and this and that so many times in my videos and this, I probably couldn't monetize none of my shit. Nothing. And it probably would be some like early shit, but still, man, I talk too much shit. And I'm not even trying to hold my tongue on a bunch of whatever the fuck if my kids ain't around, or I don't have somebody like right in front of me, again, a supervisor, just somebody of that nature where I'm not gonna sit here and say nigga a whole lot. But if I have a nigga I'm talking to in front of me, I'm gonna say nigga a whole lot. You see what I mean? That's just what it is, right? So alright. Anyways, the seemingly indecisive tactics of trimming the sails with the wind follows from a prior decision to avoid decision at all costs. This trimming and shifting must be distinguished from neurotic indecisiveness, and by this I mean holding oneself in suspension in order to hold on to power. So to sum that sentence up, because again, you know, this is what we doing, connecting dots. To sum that sentence up, basically, there's one way to hold on to power, again, by making a deal And compromising, motherfuckers will be like, oh, okay, well, at least this dude compromises, or at least at least this boss is willing to make a deal. They're listening, they're trying. So that's one way to hold on to power, even though you ain't really give them what they want. You listened, and you try to compromise. You might give them a little bit. You see what I'm saying? It's like union contracts or whatever else. But at the end of the day, you're still in charge. You didn't give up your power. You made a deal. So it seems like, it's still a tactic. It might seem like it's indecisive, but that's still a tactic. Versus other people who are neurotic, and it's like they just stalling, wasting time, wasting time, wasting time. Because the longer they hold on to that shit, the longer they stall, the longer they in power. So you have to be aware of that too. The longer one can hesitate, the more important seems to be both the decision and one's own position. So, in short, oh, I skipped a little part. My bad. There is a narcissistic use of indecision, and the narcissistic use of indecision is the more important. The more you just you wait to make a decision, everybody's waiting on you, so it makes it seem like your decision grows more and more and more. My bad. Let me get my knee out your face. I'm trying not to do that, nigga. My bad. But the more and more you stall, some people stall and shit. That makes it the weight of the decision heavier and heavier. Like, man, the closer and closer and closer it gets to time, or whatever. You know what I mean? So some people can do that shit for that reason. And that's why it says, in short, and this is how we're going to end decision and try to kick on to the next one real quick. But in short, there are at least 3 varieties of indecision that may look alike. So, timidity, being reluctant to slice through the sword because one fears the exposure and the risks. So, not wanting to make a decision can come down to this. Because again, like I said, decision really is death. The decision releases power. So there are some people, and this might be you, might not be you, but you see it in other people. You can see it in yourself, right? We're going to get to that, but you can even see it in yourself. So there's one, not wanting to make a decision because of what you see as the possible consequences, the risks and rewards and shit, or the exposure once you do make a decision. Everybody will know, hey, you're the one that made the decision, or even the fact that you can make those type of decisions, you might not want niggas to know. So there's that. Then there's the second one, which is not wanting to make because of prudent wisdom that foresees the aftermath. Okay. Not wanting to make a decision. Okay, so number one is more like fear. You fear the risks and whatever. Number 2 is you understand exactly what's going to happen, so you can foresee the aftermath of the decision. You know what's going to happen, so it's slowing you down on actually making that decision, because the sooner you make it, the sooner it's going to happen, so you're taking your time. And then there's number 3. The neurotic, in order to stay in place and to not lose your place or whatever. So there's these 3 things about hesitating about actually making a decision. And when you see people who can't make a decision, or why they don't want to make a decision, you can usually bet it's going to come down to one of those 3 things. Like I said about the boss at work, you feel me? They don't want to necessarily make them decisions, because if they do make them decisions and it ends up being the wrong decision, they know they can fuck around and get fired for it. But in me, I can't even get fired for it, because hey, I'm just training, or I'm not really the boss. It's just, hey, that's the only reason why we tried it. But you would expect somebody who's making that kind of money, that gets paid for that shit, to make better decisions. See what I'm saying? So if I make a decision, I'm gonna step under them. If I make the decision and it lets them look good, then hey, it looks like they empowered me. So you gotta watch out for that shit. That's all I'm saying. And understand why people ain't making a decision, because they fear the risks, they fear the exposure. They ain't making a decision. They might not be making a decision because it's like, hey, they on some I told you show. I'm warning you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, nigga, if you make a decision, you might release somebody else's power that ain't yours. So they might be why they ain't making the decision, because they waiting for you to do it. Or you might not want to do it, because you understand as soon as you make that decision, what's going to happen on the back end. You know it. And again, so you got to figure out what's going on. But even self-examination calls for a decision. So like I said, yeah, nigga, we going to talk about this motherfucking shadow work shit, because even you you have to it like I said, man, it's one reason why I'm really, really big on astrology or whatever else. Because first and foremost, nigga, you should check you out. You know what you've been through in life. You know how you act. You got to keep it real with you. And if you can figure you out, or a lot of people, like the birthday book, I tell them, hey, before you read your birthday, go read somebody else's birthday, somebody that you know real close, a sister, a brother, auntie, my mom, my dad. Read somebody else that you know real good. Check out their birthday and shit, and then see what you got to say about that. Because if you're going to be like, oh yeah, man, that's definitely them, oh doubt, man, shoot, that's them, man. If you can do all that shit about that person, then you should be able to do the same about your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Because even self-examination calls for a decision. You have to be like, okay, I understand this, okay, I trust that, man. I gotta get my cousin on here, because this nigga was like, alright, bruh, so what gives astrology so much, why do you, he's like, I don't know how to phrase it, how to put it, but basically said, like, why do I take astrology as truth? And I was like, look, bruh, I'm not into the mystical, the magical for no goddamn reason. You know what I mean? Again, I went to school for mechanical engineering, computer science. I'm highly fucking logical and scientific as fuck. Like I said, nigga, I was never no slouch. I might have had a lot of behavior issues and shit, but I knew what the fuck was going on. And I mean, I got my grades. So I'm saying, nigga, this shit makes sense. Like I just told you, nigga, when I analyze myself, and I mean, I've had psychology, I've had sociology, I've had these classes, nigga. And when you look at your own shit and, analyze it up, put it up against this and put it up against that, nigga, it makes sense. It works. And every time I get to looking at people or break people down or whatever else, it works. Excuse me. Man, I had one cat. I mean, all the time. Again, cats be like, man, look, you just give me your birthday. It happens all the time, like at work. Because I come across so many different people. And indirectly, you get their birthdays. So it's easy to get a lot of people's birthdays. But it happens all the time. So I get a lot of people who are unbiased, whether they know it or not. But I'll get their birthday. And I'll be like, oh shit. Like this one dude, he had Venus and Leo. So he's a Virgo, but he had Venus and Leo. So it's like, Virgos are just as neurotic and worried about certain shit just as much as Geminis are, because Mercury is is the ruler of Virgo, right? Mercury is Virgo and Gemini. So I'm just saying, man, dude's a Virgo, so he works hard and this, that, whatever, but he's got Venus and Leo. So I'm like, man, you like to play them up like a hero. You like to come through and save the day. So you like having somebody that you always, that always needs your help. A damsel in distress. And even when they not in distress, you'll create situations or you'll whatever, because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like the champ, the star of the show. You get to be the hero, come through and save a motherfucker. You a captain, save a hoe. And he was like, to keep it a buck, his girl really is a hoe. She be selling pussy. I was like, nigga. And that's part of one of the reasons why they would, because he be trying to tell her she ain't got to, but she still be in this. Man, all kind of shit came out. All from me finding out this nigga had Venus and Leo. So again, I'm just saying, bro, when he was like, why does it give you so much wise astrology? Because this is what it is, nigga. And when I come to understand, it just makes shit simpler. You know what I mean? We didn't have to go through all this astrology. Go through all these technical terms with psychology and this and that and the Freud and Carl Jung and this. Nigga, it was crazy. But again, this type of shit, and it does go into the mystical, the magical. So this is why it's easier to settle into a nigga brain, like Rapunzel. That's what I was saying. Anyways, we're gonna get too far off the subject. And really, this has been long enough. I ain't gonna hold you too long. It's just 40 minutes. All right, man. Decisiveness. We'll get on to fearsomeness next, man. And hopefully we won't take too long on these chapters. But I mean, that's just what it is, man. The ones that really deserve it, man, they get it. Fearsomeness ain't too long. We might be able to wrap this up real quick. Let's go ahead and slap fearsomeness on there. Fuck it. We in here 40 minutes. Let's get fearsomeness out the way so we can chop it up on the next. Let's go ahead and get fearsomeness out the way. So fearsomeness, real quick. The exercise of power through fear still accomplishes what other styles cannot, right? The use of power through fear still accomplishes what other styles cannot. So at the end of the day, call it what you want, good or bad. Being feared is a power. It's a type of power. You can use it at your own discretion. It just is what it is. Effective agency seems to require fear. Effective decisions making, you know what I mean? Agency, effective use of power seems to require fear. Control and command management knows well the uses of fear. A university administrator explained carefully to me that by predicting financial disasters and scandalous embarrassments, he could move his lethargic supervisory boards and academic committees to make decisions. I had to make them afraid. It's definitely the best method for overcoming institutional inertia. And so you see this shit happen a lot. Fearsomeness. Again, as I just said, nigga, you applied for the job. Do you want to get paid? Hey, how you going to take care of them bills? How you going to pay your family? Try to use fearsomeness. And I'm like, bro, it's other factors. It's other factors, nigga, especially with temp services out here galore, nigga. If a nigga just came from a temp service and they got a solid resume, then, man, nigga, you can fire these niggas today. By Monday, they will have them a new spot to be at. By Monday, that nigga will be over there. What is you talking about? You ain't scaring these niggas. Ain't no fear in them. Lose a job, be for real, nigga. They go find another one. Motherfuckers applied for 3-4 jobs when they got here, so if they walk in the door and they don't like it, they just call the other place. You know what? Hey, I've decided I will take that offer and come on over here, man. Be for real, bro. So I'm just saying, man, you gotta understand how to use fear. The ability to instill fear. To instill fear belongs to the full panoply of power. Of all the faces of power, fearsomeness seems to serve as a profound stabilizing principle. So, damn near out of all these uses, it's fear. Prestige, ambition, office, fear. You could find fear at the heart, or fear as a stabilizing principle of damn near everyone. Shared fear unifies people. You see this in the Mind Control 101 book. It's called Social Mob Control. It was like, nigga, if you just stop and stare up at the sky, and you can get 3 or 4 more people to stare up at the sky, there's a 75% chance. The more people looking up, it was like the higher the percentage goes up than anybody just walking by or driving by. People see the more people looking up, there'll be more people that'll stop and look up to it. What are y'all looking at? What's going on? But that's just one of the things it talks about in social mob control. So the more people that are doing it, the more people that will do it. That's all it is. You know, and we talked about, man, I talk about all kind of shit, but I got this other book, you know, again, fear, bro. That shit it's induced. Damn, I can't think of the book off the top of my dome, but I know I talked about it in one of my more recent videos, not too far back, but they put sweat from motherfuckers who were scared. But point is, man, you can literally smell fear just like animals can smell fear. That shit is real, nigga. Even if you can't smell it or whatever, you can feel it. It's a vibe. It really is a vibration and whatever else. So having scary motherfuckers around you will turn you into a scary person too. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So again, shared fear unifies people. The recent long period of major world peace was granted by fear. Yeah, the Cold War. Remember the Cold War? That's why it was called like a Cold War, right? Or something like that, if I remember right. And again, don't quote me. You know, I've been drinking, I've been smoking, I'm gonna fire this shit back up. But you know what I'm saying, the Cold War, right? The nuclear war. Oh, if y'all do this, we'll do that. Well, if we do this, y'all gonna do that. Well, if y'all do that, we'll do this. Oh yeah, we set up in Cuba, so we got missiles right here ready to do this and do that. Oh no, we gotta get Cuba back because that's some bullshit. Fear. Set up us all about fear now. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Well, Russia's taking Ukraine. If Russia does this and do this, it's gonna be fear. Fear that the gas might go up. Fear that you ain't gonna have no food. Fear that the government's gonna shut down. Fear these nuts. The emotion of fear corresponds with the facts of power. Close to power, only a fool is not afraid. Close to power, only a fool is not afraid. Because again, the closer you are to the person, and whether that's, emotionally close, physically close, the closer you are to the power, the closer you are to death itself. It could be a bomb. You don't want to set that out. I've seen some people, the closer you are to power, right? We got forklifts at the job. Nigga, I've rolled a forklift down the fucking floor. I'm like, oh my God, pick that up. Don't roll that. What are you? Nigga, I ain't afraid of this motherfucker. You could blow up the whole plant. Probably could, but I wasn't scared. But it happens. But the closer you are to power, the more motherfuckers get scared. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, super big buff ass nigga walk in the spot. Closer you are to power, big scary ass nigga, the more it just exudes fear. You've got to know that. Period. You know what I'm saying? The more you look powerful, the more fear comes with that. It just is what it is. You look powerful. You look like you got money. You look like you're going to get robbed. Anyways. But the emotion of fear, right? Many symptoms appearing in offices and factories called stress, incontinence, slowdown, absenteeism are the paralyzing and panicked reactions of fear to the fearsomeness of power in the workplace. Panic attacks and anxiety states unconsciously recognize the fearsomeness of power. Man, I say this shit all the time, man. I'm going through this type of shit right now. Motherfucker, a lot of these people, some of the people ain't never been that close to a supervisor. You ain't never had a nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? And the supervisor, you can just knock on the door. And these supervisors are literally telling the operators on the floor that I run the floor. Everything goes through me. So now instead of niggas being afraid of them, they're afraid of me. Where I'm like, whoa. I'm just the messenger, man. I'm just the messenger. As long as you don't do nothing for me to report, nigga, I don't pass no messages back and forth. Now I don't do no snitching. That's a personal, you feel me? So it sucks for me to be in the position that I'm in, because y'all gonna have to go to the camera, but you do some shit on camera, nigga, that is what it is. But hey, man, I just relay messages. If the boss say do this or do that, nigga, I'm relaying the message. That's all I can tell you. But they tell these niggas, nah, OZ runs the floor. Nigga, OZ's in charge. They might not even touch the floor, but I'm just saying, man, and that puts everybody on edge about me when I walk the floor, how I move. Now I gotta, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but that's what's up, right? Not cleanliness, but fearsomeness is truly next to godliness. Yet no one speaks well of fear, even if some of us and some hidden parts of us can delight in its pleasure. There is a pleasure in being feared and being fearsome. I mean, it kind of is what it is. You see what I'm saying? This is why you see like little kids killing ants or doing this or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Because they powerful. They got power. There's a pleasure in that. Oh, you don't fear me? Well, die, nigga, die, nigga, die, nigga, die, nigga, die. You know what I'm saying? It does some shit to the nigga's ego, but this is back to the ego. You can call it ego tripping, power tripping, same thing. Same thing. As you can really find out about tyranny, because tyranny is rampant. And I'm glad. I hope you stuck with me this long. Let me get one of these or one of the, just throw me some shit in the comments, man. I appreciate you sticking this long. But when we talk about tyranny, you can really find out, because again, even in your mind, you one person, you one thing, you just one it, you know what I'm saying? You don't consider these thoughts coming from different places. No, they all come from one place. It's either you or it's not you. That's tyranny of your own mind. You've taken control of your own mind. You don't even take the fact that your body might be trying to talk to you. No, your brain runs everything. So your dick can't take control of your mind. You see what I'm saying? Your lungs can't be trying to tell you something. Your heart can't be trying to tell you nothing, because your brain is the only thing that rules everything. It's the only place that your mind comes from, your consciousness. It only comes from the brain. It doesn't come from the legs. You don't have consciousness that comes from the feet or your root chakra. You don't think like that. You see what I mean? Tyranny. Fearsomeness. You afraid of your own goddamn self. This is why niggas won't really take the astrology seriously. This pimping for real. That's why I say pimps and hoes, nigga. You pimping the shit out of yourself. That's why they talk about your inner child and whatever else. You afraid of you, nigga. You so real you can't be fake. Because if you start being fake, you know, you might like that shit more. But then if you like that shit more, if you find out this is really you, well then who was you to begin with? So again, even self-examination requires a decision. Niggas ain't ready to die. This is not the best version of OZ. I'm killing this nigga tonight. I'm gonna wake up a new nigga tomorrow. That's just all it is to it, man. Niggas is afraid to die. That's why you afraid to make decisions, even with your own self. You ain't gonna let nobody else kill you. You damn sure ain't gonna let you kill you. You afraid of you killing you, so you damn sure ain't gonna you afraid of everybody else killing you. You see what I mean? Fear is crazy, bro. It's crazy how this shit how I start connecting dots. But we ain't gonna take up too much of your time, and it's already been damn near an hour. And let's try to finish up this fearsomeness, right? So unless we are willing to entertain the idea that causing fear gives pleasure, we can never grasp the full depths of power. Causing fear gives pleasure. Now, you might not take it as such, but that's what it is. And it is what it is. So men and women frighten and torture other men and women, animals and things as part of their everyday jobs. The career of fear must give satisfaction beyond the call of duty. Horror and crime movies, of course, capitalize on the fear associated with power. Every raised voice and menacing look, every glinting gun and fistfight raises the heartbeat of the audience, so that we cannot tell, sitting there in the dark, what is masterful authority, tyranny, or just plain fear. See what I mean? It gives a movie, but you could pick out all kind of movies, but in this it just gives you an example. In the movie The Unforgiven, named as one of the best films ever, a distinction among powers becomes clear. Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman are both ruthless killers. Though Hackman wears the badge of office, he commands by means of fearsomeness. Eastwood, a broken down pig farmer, displays the power of authority. Right. So, again, it might not be you, but you have to understand that, nigga, fear and power kind of go hand in hand. And niggas in power may love that, have that sadistic, masochistic vibe going on. You see what I'm saying? It might not happen in the workplace. It might not happen at home. You see what I mean? This is why, like, when I'm at work, I always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. They call me on the radio, James, you copy? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. You got me. Where you need me at? What's going on, boss? It's kind of like that respect, you know what I'm saying? Because inadvertently, it's like giving people a little bit of fear. You know what I'm saying? They get a little bit of power. You get that, they don't know what's going on subconsciously. Again, there's a shadow. What's happening in the background. This is why we talking about this shit. This is what's happening in the background. It's that little bit of fear. You know you like that. Again, like I said, man, a lot of times the only people that have ever been in power over anybody, any other situation, or the most power that you will ever have in life, I don't want to say most power. The most power a lot of people have, it's just your kids. You see what I'm saying? It's over the kids. So you got to be weary of that, man. And that's pretty much fearsomeness. We finished the chapter with this. The Buddha supposedly said that all things are in fear, even plants and stones. This fundamental fact gives the gesture of fear such cosmic significance. Fearsomeness comes with the universe, belonging to cosmic predation. Everything eats away at everything else in an intricate interlocking system from which there is no escape. Everything eats off of everything else, period. That all things are in service to one another in cosmic mutuality or cosmic predation means that everything is exploitable. This is a fearsome idea. Everything is exploitable, nigga. Everything, even your black ass and your body can be exploiting you. You don't even know. But it's gonna be, nigga. Are you hungry again? You're not the self. Like the Snickers commercials was coming to my mind. You know what I mean? Like the Snickers commercial. They talk about that type of shit, man. You ain't yourself when you hungry. You're hangry, or people get upset. I just needed something to eat. You know what I mean? Your mood changes. It's that type of vibe. That's exactly what's going on. But fearsomeness. You have to understand, everybody's afraid of something somehow, some way, and getting to the root of that is that's the shadow work. Understanding what exactly it is you've been programmed with that's causing you such fear. Alright? OZ the Wizard. Like, share, subscribe, but don't do none of that shit. Keep running and hiding from your boy. I'm out.